Hey guys, remember I am out for the next 2 days to go to a funeral with my family. You're going to have an assignment for today. I put a little packet together to help you study for your quiz retake because a lot of us are going to need that, guy. Then on Tuesday, you're going to be going to your informational meeting about the AP test, okay? So just make sure that you've got both those things in the back of your mind, that you are going to be doing a quiz redo and that you are going to be going to that informational meeting on Tuesday, okay? But for today, let's look at this packet that you're going to be completing. The first title is percent composition. Please don't think this whole thing is percent composition. This lets you practice percent composition for this page here. So this first page. One thing I want you to notice that some of us messed up on the practice quiz or on the quiz that we took is that right here we didn't multiply by 2. So then when we did this right here, this was completely off and threw off our percentages. So we want to make sure that we're noticing if it has a subscript or not and then multiplying by that. Down here, this would be 1 magnesium, and then we'll have to factor through this 2. So we're distributing this 2 to the one that's imaginarily right here with the nitrogen. So that would be 2 nitrogens. And then it also factors through and distributes over to this 3 with the oxygen. So total, that would be 1 magnesium, 2 nitrogen, and 6 oxygens. And then we would be able to find our different masses and subsequently our percentages, okay? So just watch out for that on those practice problems here. And that's front and back. On the back side here, there are some things written out here that you may not know the formula to. And so we are going to go through those really quickly. And the perception of this is probably horrible. So I'm going to do my best here. I can't switch my camera right now because I'm not as tech savvy as you guys. So iron 3 oxide is actually a really easy one to write. So if you put iron down, and the 3 lets you know that the charge is +3, and then oxygen, and then you know that the charge on oxygen is -2 from the periodic table. When you cross those charges, the formula here is iron 2 oxide. Okay, so there may be a few on there that you don't quite know how to name, so we're just going to go through them real quick. So zinc is always going to be a +2 charge. Carbonate is a -2 charge. So when we do zinc carbonate, remember those will just reduce and we won't have any charges there down at the bottom. Dinitrogen, pentachloride, pretty easy to do. Aluminum nitrate, aluminum has a +3 charge, and nitrate has a -1 charge. So when we cross those charges, this would be aluminum, and then this would be nitrate, okay? And then I'm going to let you practice this calcium acetate on your own. Just know that this is a polyatomic ion that has 3 letters in it, okay? So I'm going to let you try that. And it's the charge on the acetate is going to be -1. So those are some things that I'm going to help you out with. And hopefully that gives you a chance to practice one, okay? When we go over to empirical and molecular formula, this is an opportunity to go through the empirical formula on this first one. And right now, all of these are given to you in grams. So what you're going to do is just take this gram amount of iron, divide by the molar mass of iron, or because iron is an atom, just the atomic mass. And then you're going to say, you're going to have that molar mass on the bottom, and that's equivalent to 1 mole. So then you'll just divide those 2 numbers, and that will give you the moles of iron. And so you'll do that for all those things, okay? And then remember, divide by the smallest number of moles, and then convert those numbers to whole numbers, and that will give you your empirical formula. Down here, you have to do what's called assuming a 100-gram sample. So that means that you're going to pretend that this is actually 32.8 grams of chromium, and this is 67.2 grams of chlorine. And then you just complete it just like the one that we talked about above, okay? Down here, you're going to get to the molar mass formula. So the first thing you're going to have to do is use this gram amount and this gram amount to find the empirical formula. Then after you have the empirical formula, you're going to find the molar mass of the empirical formula. Then you're going to take the molar mass that's given right here and divide that by the molar mass that you found of the empirical formula. And that's going to be the number that you multiply all the subscripts in the empirical formula by. So just make sure that you go back through those steps that we did the other day and just break that down for yourself. If you have any questions, again, I would be happy to answer that for you. I'll do one for you and email you right back, or work one out for you and then message you back on Remind. You just have to let me know, okay? Limiting reactant and percent yield. Here is asking you which substance is the limiting reactant. Remember, the limiting reactant is the one where the reaction has to stop because we're out of it. How many moles of excess reactant remain? So that's really easy. You're just going to take the gram amount that remains and convert it to moles. In this case, though, because they originally gave it to you in moles, you're just going to subtract. So these should be pretty easy for you to do. Here we're just asking how many grams of each product are formed. We did one of those on Friday, so you should have that practice problem there for yourself, okay? And so then we're just going to go through and complete these different problems as a practice, okay? Now, I realize that some of this is pretty new, okay? So on Wednesday when I get back, we're going to go through some of these, and if you have any questions, I'll answer those for you then, because I know this is a lot for you to do in a pretty short amount of time. On Thursday, you guys are going to retake that quiz, okay? And I know that that means that we've spent a little extra time on this, but knowing percent composition and empirical molecular formula is huge for the AP exam. So you're just setting yourself up for success by knowing these things, okay? So again, you're going to work on this today. Then tomorrow you're going to go to your AP testing meeting. On Wednesday, I'll be back and answer any questions that you have. And then on Thursday, we'll retake the quiz. Okay? I hope you guys had a wonderful weekend, and I look forward to seeing you on Wednesday.